Hello, good evening. Ms. Sikmi, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So give me a second. I'll share my screen. Uh, I hope you can see my screen, Sikmi.
I can, sir.
Sikmi, am I audible to you? No?
I can, sir. Yeah.
Okay, great. I think, but I couldn't hear you before you speaking. No worries. Uh, we'll go to the slides. Okay. So we covered uh content marketing session last week. So let me give you a brief a recap. So a content marketing. So as we discussed, a content marketing is a strategic approach that as a brand create a content which is relevant, consistent, and which makes engaged when makes the customer engaged and attractive towards the content. And as we discussed, the main purpose for content marketing, the ultimate end goal is to create a trust, to create a strong trust between the brand and the customer. So, uh, though that content can be either, as we discussed, it can be either article, a post, a video, uh, uh, like audio, photographs, anything. The medium, I mean, the source can be anything. But the ultimate purpose of that content marketing is to reach towards our customer, and as a brand, to create a trust between the customer and the brand, the product. So that is basically what is a content marketing is. So uh, this is the theoretical definition which is being published by the Content Marketing Institute on content marketing. And as an example, we discussed one of the brands such as KFC, which on their content marketing, and how they planned and executed it and how they achieved it. And we discussed the content marketing methodology, how a brand has to have a strategic content marketing approach without adding a noise which terms goes as making the customer goes unnoticed by the customer. And it whatever the content marketing it is, it has to be clear and concise and related to the objective, what they wanted to say, and the metrics to the content marketing. So as we discussed, as a if it is a social media post, you can measure the success as through likes, shares, and how people have taken it, like as a comment. So it can be changed, varied. So basically, that is how the metrics which we use to measure the content marketing success. And we discussed that social media is one of the effective tool which helps to generate word of mouth and sharing of the content marketing. And why is effective content important? uh, so basically, to make the customer decide how as a customer, how we can influence his behavior. So through content marketing, we can actually help the customer think about our brand, and we can actually influence him to how we wanted him to think towards the brand. For an example, if it is as I said, if it is like a last time we discussed as a EV kind of a thing, let's say a EV vehicle. We are into automobile, we do a EV vehicle. We wanted to, let's say, if we wanted to think that our vehicle is something which helps towards the environment, which takes care of the planet Earth, and which gives a message, a social responsibility kind of thing, that we have to take care of our environment. So, you know, if those kind of messages we can use in content marketing, we can influence customers thinking what kind of a brand we are for the society, and how we can influence them to think that how we wanted our brand to be seen. So content is an important tool here on influencing the behaviors and technology attitudes to a shift and market factors. And last time uh, uh, Sidney did a marketing content marketing plan, and I remember you did on Nike, on how to promote the Nike products. We discussed like having athletes and sports person, and children who are like in teenage, who are like very like sided towards sports. So through them, how we can effectively helps to promote the brand Nike and their products, like uh, sportswear, shoes, all those kinds of things. And then we went through some statistics, like what are the current statistics being which are being shown by the content marketing, and how do we measure the content marketing. As we discussed, it can be varied from post to post. So today we'll start from content marketing strategy. So before we go into the content marketing strategy, I would like to share you a video for just to get an understanding initially. Then after we'll like go into the, and if there's anything miss with me, you can let me know. So we'll keep it engaging, and we'll go forward.
is the ongoing practice of planning for the creation, delivery.
Uh, Miss Sidney, can you listen to the audio?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay. Uh, I saw that you unmuted, but for some reason I couldn't hear you. If there is anything, Miss Sidney, can you drop a message? Because I couldn't hear the voice. The last time was I couldn't hear you, but I remember you spoke something. So I hope you can hear. I'll play the video.
And maintenance of effective content. Taking a strategic approach to content helps ensure that content in the user experience serves a legitimate purpose. A content strategy will also specify the business objectives and user needs the content supports. The process of content strategy comprises 4 conceptual phases: planning, creation, maintenance, and removal. Each phase relies on different tools, teams, and tactics to communicate and execute the content strategy. During the initial planning phase, review the content that currently exists in the user experience. A content inventory and audit can help you see what's out there and how well it's performing. Planning is also a great time to conduct content-focused user research to understand the outstanding questions your users have and where new content or updates to current content can offer better answers. When it comes to creation, the goal is for no more last-minute lorem ipsum copy replacements. Content design needs to happen from the start, not when someone all of a sudden realizes the content is a mess or it doesn't make sense. Document best practices and examples of what adhering to standards really looks like. Do this in your design system so that the user experience, interface, and content design decisions are all made together. Maintenance and governance determine when and how often content is reviewed to monitor for quality and success over time. Start with at least a 3-month interval for reviewing content. Share a list of updated or retired content after each review cycle and when the next one will happen. Show how content contributed to increases in revenue, user satisfaction, or successful task completion. Include recordings and quotes from users to prove the value of content maintenance. Ongoing content reviews reduce risk and ambiguity around content success. Remove any underperforming or unnecessary content to ensure you're directing users' attention to the most recent and relevant information. Content has the power to make or break the user experience. People, processes, and flexible policies make good content happen. In your next UX initiative, start with the content strategy first to set the rest up for success.
So, actually, what was discussed, to give a basic understanding again, the content marketing strategy, there are actually 4 steps. So, actually, it's thinking, create, publish, and measure. In a content marketing, actually, Sidney, when we create a content, before we creating a content, actually, we should think what is our objectives, what we going to achieve in this objectives, what is the ultimate goal. So we should think about how we going to prepare the content. So actually, in the first, the thinking process, in that phase, actually we are not going to create the content, but we are going to plan for the content. We're going to discuss with the team, the the team in the marketing department, brainstorming ideas. We discussed with each other, and we're going to plan how we're going to achieve this content. So what are the things we can use and what are the things we shouldn't use, and what is the most like traditional way, or what are the like recent, the latest like content which we can use for this, and what are the like outdated kind of a content, and what are the content would be like really reach to the customer, which they will act like react to positively. So basically you can get an idea that first phase, the think, it is where we plan the content, we discuss and we plan that how we're going to approach it, what are the things we can include in the content, what are the things we shouldn't include the content, the do and don't. So basically, this is where we're going to plan and brainstorm the ideas with the team, and plan what are the things we're going to do, we're going to execute. So that is think. And the create. So actually, the most, as even in the video it was discussed, that it is recommended think and create should go hand in hand. Soon as the thinking stage is finished, it is preferable that the same people and the same team go into the create immediately, because uh, in most cases what happens is when a team, when a brand thinks these are the things which we can do, these are the things which we're going to do, this is how we're going to plan it for. But when it going to the creating stage, it there is a major like big difference, because sometimes whatever the things which are written on the paper at the end of the day, uh, sometimes it can be like it won't be translated, it won't be converted when we're going to create the content, uh, because there can be many reasons, many gaps for this. So it is recommended, as soon as you think and you plan the content, you should go for the creation of the content, so that in the same idea, in the same shoes itself, you can go into the creating process and create the content. When you go to the creating content, as soon as you're going to uh, do in action, what are the things you have written down, what are the things you have noted down, it has to be something like has to create in the way that can be approached to the customer. you know the process actually, when it comes to create the content, it can be, as we discussed, it can be a post, can be an article, it can be a videography, infographics, anything. So we have to choose what are the best possible way we can create the content which we plan in the first phase, which we plan in the thinking stage. And then we go to create the content. So it is recommended think and create goes hand in hand. And when it comes to publish, so uh, the publish is the stage we're going to plan how we're going to distribute this content, how we're going to maintain and we're going to reach out to the customers. So for an example, let's say, doesn't matter whatever your content you have created, let's say it is something bigger, something uh, like no one have done it before, can be anything. If we didn't reach to the your target customer, the product, the brand is going to fail. So as much as it important to think the plan and to create the content, it is very very important to distribute, to publish the content to your target customers effectively. So when you're going to publish the content, it can go, it can be distributed in number of ways. So as we all know, social media platform is one of the best platform to distribute this content, uh, because a large number of people like all stay connected in social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. whichever medium. So social media platform is one of the best way which to distribute, because as we discussed previously, 80% or more of the reach of effective marketing program is now generated by word of mouth and sharing, and social media platform plays a major role in this, because with the increased ease of sharing, because of the social medias, it is become easy to share the content among friends to friends, to colleagues, with uh, uh, your friends and all. It is easy to distribute the content. So publish is where we decide how we're going to distribute our content. And next, measuring. So as we discussed here, we can calculate, we can assume the measure the success of the content through some of this. If it is a good, like a biscuits, a chocolate, a brand like into confectionery, like into chocolates kind of thing, soon after this content, it can be a article, post, or TV advertisement, anything. So if the above content is a success, if it has reached effectively, it has achieved the objectives which we planned, which we uh, noted down in the thinking stage, in the first stage. This is the objective. If that particular content is being achieved effectively, those objects, you can see the conversion rate, meaning how many sales, how many people who have seen that content, and after that particular content marketing, after that uh, period, how much did the sales grow, how much did the conversion happen. So it can be anything. So it can be a subscriber, if it is a like a service kind of thing. Again, if it is a service like using the website, we can measure how much people have visited our website because of the content marketing. After the particular period of time, you can measure before and after. Before that content marketing, sorry, I think there was a network issue. uh, yes, so this is the content planning framework uh, for the content marketing. So let me go through it again. So thinking. Think is the first stage of the process framework. It is where you plan the content, create. This is where, based on your planning, based on the objectives which you have been planned, you're going to create the content. So most cases this will be going hand in hand. So once the content is being created, you are going to distribute, going to publish it to your target customers. End of the day, it is not going to be the customers, it's going to be your target customer. If it is a vehicle kind of a brand, your target customer would be like business people can afford your brand. Like kind of a brand, your target customer would be late or teenagers as well. And if you are into like genres, you will be more into children, teenagers. So uh, in your publishing the content, it will be to your target customers, and we decided what is the platform you want to use. So process will be happening in publishing, in the measuring. So the measure comes when where the once the content is being published, to measure the how you going to measure how far it has reached, what is the responses from the customers, how did they take that took that content, what are their feedbacks. So basically you're going to get an idea of how they understood, what are the feedbacks customers have towards the brand. So that will be happening in the content. So basically this will be the basic content planning framework. So we'll go on thinking. The first stage. So the first framework of the content planning. Here you can see uh, based on the first, you can discover and plan. So discover in the sense, what is the objectives? What is the as a company, what you're going to discover? What are the business goals? Who is the most valuable to reach? We have a framework. So these things as a team you have, you're going to discuss with your team, among the brand, within the company itself, what you're going to achieve as a business, what are your needs, and based on these 4 points, you're going to plan on content. What topics can be on? What channels do we already have used? How do we motivate our target? So, uh, when you plan in the first stage, in the thinking, you're going to analyze what are the channels you have used previously, what are the ways you have reached your previously. So, if already you have done a content planning before, you're going to get feedback well, and you're going to plan how we can this time it is effectively. So in a way, you can see it's a continuous cycle. So you think of content and you create it, creating it, you decide how you're going to publish it, measure that, what is the key, how the response is, and based on on it. So when it comes from both, it is you are the feedback I have is based on that you can develop the and develop the things how you can improve. So based on that you do the thinking, create it, and again you publish it to ensure what is the feedback you have. So it is a continuous process in a way, and you execute it and you learn from your mistakes, and you again uh, like, so that is why it is what channels do we already have used, what are the platforms. For an example, we have used YouTube as a then I would get a good response. Sorry, Satmi, I think there was a network issue from my side. Okay. As we were discussing, in the content planning framework, this four stages can be a continuous process. It can be done as a like a cycle. You do the thinking, you plan the content, you create it, you distribute it, you measure it, and based on the feedback, you can learn from it, and you go back to the thinking stage, and once you go for the next content planning, you learn from that mistakes, and you add you improve yourself. So this can be like a cycle. uh, so as we said, what are the channels do we already have used? So if here in the third stage, this is kind of a thinking again. Like, if we have used YouTube as a platform for your first content, and if it is unsuccessful, when you come to the measuring stage, if it has not reached to the target customers effectively, there is no positive feedback. The customers haven't reacted positively towards the brand. When you go to the thinking stage again and you plan, you're going to plan the publishing, the platform. This time you're not going to use the YouTube. Let's say based on the learning, you are decided to use Facebook or Instagram, any such platform. So again, you think it, you learn from the mistake, learn from the measuring stage, and you create, and you in the third one, then you have learned that YouTube is not going to be the best platform. So you are going to choose Facebook or Instagram, and then you're going to measure. And if it is reached effectively, then you're going to learn that it has successfully reached your target customers, and the customers are positively reacting towards your brand. So again, with that learning, you go to the thinking stage again. So this becomes a whole life cycle. So that is what we have discussed here in this thinking stage. What are the topics can we own? Like, what are the topics we are going to talk about from the brand? What channels we going to use? Again, what is the platform in the distribution media we're going to use? How are we going to motivate our target customers? How we going to uh, make them feel, like how we going to make them notice our brand? So those kind of things you're going to do in the thinking stage. And then the thinking, what is the content you're going to choose? So that becomes the most important thing in the thinking stage. There are so many choices for you to select, but in end of the day, you're going to select the best and ideal content. It has, as mentioned, all brands can become media companies or publishers, but all brands can publish content. So what it says is, not all brands can become media companies or publishers, because media company is more like advertising, televisions, like news channel. But all brands can publish content. It says that even though that all the brands are not a media companies, they are not like owning like a television agency or anything, but still they can publish the content to digital as well as traditional platforms. So when it comes to content choices, there are content choices around us in everywhere. It can be borrowed from the community, uh, or from the channel, from the advertising we have already done. Based on the feedback, the content which we have already published, based on those feedback as well, you can plan on your next content. Building it on their own with an agency help. So every time a brand doesn't has to come with their own content. If a brand approaching a digital agency or digital marketing agency, they can give them an idea that to the digital agencies who will who will, on behalf of the brand, will create the content within their team by discussing with the brands, and they will come up with their own idea, with their own content for the brand. And once it is confirmed by the brand, they can go with that brand and publish and reach out to the customers. So, how to find a suitable content? The content can be found in everywhere around us. It can be what, like for an example, it can be something which is trending, like in the current period, around globally. For an example, currently, so I think uh, we in the short future, like recently, the football, the FIFA tournament is going to be organized. So your content can be something related to the football, related to the World Cup, football World Cup. Because since many people around the world are being focused on, once the football World Cup begins, everyone will be talking about the football. So if you come up with a content which is related to something to football at that period, when it is really trending, which is being a talking point among the people, so that content can be easily reach out to the customers. It can be quickly noticed, since it is becoming a trending, it is being the current news. Like everyone is talking about football, since it is a big sports event. So when you come up with your content uh, related to football or something, it can be reached, the percentage of it getting reached to the customers will be more. There are high chances. So, and it can be social listening. It can be something being discussed in social media recently. What other people are talking about, either entertainment world or sports or politics, anything. So what is being currently being discussed in the social media, which we call as social listening. So you can choose that topic, and you can make it related to your product, your brand, and you can come up with your own content. So these are where, again, news, uh, the current news, which has been currently being talked among the countries, or like people around the world. So you can choose the content around you and make it more relatable to your brand, and then you go out to reach out to your customers, your target customers. So these are done because these gives a high chance to the brand to reach out to the customers and get noticed by them. Since let's say if there is a something big, talking point which is being currently discussed among all the people in the world, and if there is a content comes related to that topic as well, we will be noticing it, since we are all hooked into that particular topic. If a content is, if a brand, or some, if we are target customer of a brand, and if they are approaching with that same content but little bit changed to their own brand, then we will be also coming across that same content, and will be noticing it. So there's a high chance for the brand uh, to select a content which is suitable to the current period, current trend, current social discussing topic, current affairs. So that is a way where I can easily find a content. So content breakdown. So here we're going to talk about the four stages of the funnel stage. Here we're going to talk about awareness, consideration, and acquisition. So since actual in the actual phase there is six steps. Since it is a content marketing, we're going to break down into three main kind of step. Uh, to give you a idea, give me a second. I'll share you a video to get a better understanding of this. This will give you a better understanding on the marketing funnel channel.
What if you could turn complete strangers into loyal customers on autopilot? That's exactly what the digital marketing funnel helps you do. Welcome to episode 2 of Digital Marketing Explained. Today, we're diving into the marketing funnel, a framework that maps how people go from hearing about you for the first time to becoming loyal customers. We'll cover what the funnel is, the 4 key stages, real-world examples. 1. What is a marketing funnel? A funnel is a visual way to understand how people discover, trust, and buy from you. At the top, you reach lots of people, awareness. As they move down, fewer people remain, but those who do are more likely to buy. The 4 main stages are: 1. Awareness. They find you. Ads, search, social. 2. Consideration. They learn more. Website, videos, reviews. 3. Conversion. They buy, check out, booking, sign up. 4. Loyalty. They return, refer, and promote you. The goal? Build trust at every stage. 2. Real example, coffee subscription brand. Let's say you run an online coffee subscription business. Here's how the funnel might look. 1. Awareness. A customer sees your Instagram reel on 3 coffee myths. 2. Consideration. They click your profile, read reviews, and browse your site. 3. Conversion. They sign up for a 30-day trial after seeing a limited time offer. 4. Loyalty. After enjoying the coffee, they get a personalized email plus a referral link they share with friends. Each step is intentional. You're not pushing, you're guiding. Great digital marketing doesn't feel like marketing. It feels like value at the right time. That's what the funnel helps you design. 3. Why it works. The funnel works because it follows human behavior. People don't usually buy the first time they hear about something. They need multiple touches: education, trust, relevance. When you map out your funnel, you're not guessing. You're building a repeatable system for awareness, engagement, and sales. Pro tip: start by writing down your customer journey. Then ask, what can I offer at each stage to help them move forward? Want to make your own funnel? Start with a simple sketch. How do people find you? How do you build
Hi. Sorry, Sidmi. There was a network connection issue from my side. Let me share my screen. Okay. I hope you can see my screen, Sidmi. Great. Yes. Yes. So based on the video which we saw, it is the marketing funnel which we saw, which was shown and explained in the video. So let me give you a brief idea. So when it comes to thinking, how we going to plan the content in the content framework process. So we should identify this marketing funnel first. So basically, in the main three stages, which it talks about, is awareness. When our target customer notices our content, okay, he is going to be aware of our brand. So such a brand, let's say our brand is XYZ, okay. So if the our target customer uh, sees our brand, the XYZ, he gets to know about that such a brand called XYZ is existing in the market. So he knows about it, and then he is like learns about the brand. So what are the products and everything. So in the consideration stage, then second one, he will consider the brand. He will like visit our website, see what are the products we are offering, what are our product portfolios, what are the prices, is it what are the reviews we have got. Like he will be considering our product, the brand. And in the acquisition stage, he turns he purchase our brand, he purchase our product, and he becomes our customers. So basically, awareness is where our leads, our target customers are, where they're going to get to know about us. In the consideration, they are being our prospects. They are going to take a decision whether they are going to buy our product, or just see that they're going to just to be as a leads. They're just going to know that okay, there is a product brand called XYZ. That's it. So that's the decision they will make in the next stage once if they are feeling positive about our brand, and they have taken the decision to become our customer, to purchase our product, then they become our acquisition. So when it comes to the framework, the content planning framework, how we're going to apply here is, when we publish the content, Sidney, they're going to know, okay, a brand called XYZ is existing. So these are their products, these are what they do. They're going to know about us. Okay. So in order to establish our brand presence, just to make the customers aware that we are there in the market, so that those target customers are going to learn about us. So that's in the awareness stage. In the consideration stage, once we publish the content, if they are feeling positive towards the brand, if our content has been reached to them and they have noticed us, and somehow they are related to us, then they will be coming to our websites, and they will be exploring our products and what are the product portfolios we have. And in acquisition, they will take a call to purchase it. So our content plan, our in the first stage, in the thinking process, we should plan will it be convenient, how will it make the customers come through this funnel stage and push them and make them till the acquisition. So we'll be like planning that in the content itself. So how we can pull our target customers through this market funnel, how we can make them aware, that can be easily done in a content plan. Customers are anyway going to like see those content and they're going to get to know about us. But the consideration, that's where the it's will be challenging for as a marketeer using the content plan. You're going to make the customers like believe that you are one of a potential brands that they can consider. So that will be a challenge. And the final challenge will be acquisition, where they are going to uh, like they will be fully trusting our brand. So that's the main goal of the content marketing itself, where you will be focusing on a strategic approach with relevant consistent content, which the ultimate goal is to create a trust between the customer and the brand. So once if you are achieved, if in the metric terms, if we are going to say, if our content plan is achieved, like it is successful, then we will be making our customers coming to this funnel stage and will they will be coming toward till the acquisition. So in the content wise, we should have it like as have it arranged, have it organized so that our customers can like to make them convenient to come to this funnel stage through awareness first, and to consider our brand and to make it acquisition. So this how we going to achieve using our content plan. So from funnel to flywheel. So basically, what we wanted is on your left side you can see in the funnel the marketing is the biggest one, and then after that the sales, and then bottom is the customers. But in the content, it's like a flying wheel. It will be like a cycle, a continuous cycle, where you market your product, and then you do the sale, and you provide the service. It will become like a rotational cycle. And here how it works, how fast you spin it, how much friction there is, how big it is. So basically, to get the main idea which is coming to explain here is how you're going to promote your product, your brand towards the strangers, which are your target customers, and make them your prospect, make them believe that we are one of the options for for them, for their the product they wish to purchase, and they become customers. So this is a cycle of the marketing funnel. So we wanted our customers to come through this through our content plan. And the next stage is create. So in here we have talked about the thinking stage, and now we are moving towards the create. So in the content creation, these are the four areas we should focus when it comes to creating our content. We have to think like a publisher, multi-channel stores, creative swiftness, and data-driven. So the main idea which comes to talk about here is uh, when we are creating the content, we should make sure that we are in a mindset, in a perspective of a publisher. So if we are going to publish this content, in what format, in what form we are going to create this content in. Let's say if we're going to publish the content in a YouTube channel, we are going to create this content as a video, in a video kind of way. if we're going to create this content as a post in a Facebook or Instagram, then we're going to think how we're going to make a like a artwork kind of a thing, a flyer or like a image post or anything. So we will have to decide what as a publisher in which platform we're going to publish this content in the content creation stage, so that we can plan accordingly as a, in which format are we going to put up this content, as a videography, as a audio, as a picture, photo, infographics, or as an article. If it is going to become a, if we the brand decides to go into a newspaper kind of thing, then the content has to go as an article. So we have to like think as a publisher when we're going to create the content. Then the multi-channel stories. Uh, we should be it is ideal if you can come up the content in multi channels, like not only in a single media but in like various channels. For an example, there are customers, your target customers could be in digital platform as well as in the traditional platform as well. So accordingly, based on your brand, you will have to decide which platform, which channel you're going to focus in. So let's say if your target customers, if your brand itself is focused on the modern, like the Gen Zs, kind of the today's generation, current teenagers. So if that so is the target customers, and if your product is as well is more like a modernized kind of thing, it is ideal to you to go through social media platform. In that kind of a situation, it's ideal for you to go through multiple channel like Facebook, Instagram, X platform, YouTube, Snapchat, in multiple platform, so that you could cover the entire uh, your target customers who will be in the social media platform. And creative swiftness. When it comes to creating the content, you should make your content unique. It should be something creative compared to the rest of the content which are being already existing or going to be published in the platform. It should be something very creative and very quick, so that the attention time span which people have these days with enough content is already in the market, in the uh, media, in the platform. You should be able to come up with something very very creative and very very quick, so that you can grab their full attention towards your content without leaving any room. So that is something we should be focusing on, creating the content. And data driven, this is something you should always keep in your mind. Your whatever the content you are going to create, you should be able to like come up with data driven, based on the statistic, based on the facts. Because you should always have a logical kind of a reasoning for you to come up with that content. Not required necessarily for all the content, but it is ideal, it is better if you could come up with data driven. Let's say, for an example, it says like 57-60% of the population is more interested in like a particular kind of a brand or kind of a product. Then those brands which going to be that population's target customers, they should be able to cover that, and they should be able to go with the data. It is always recommended to go with data driven content, so that you can be the chances of it is being successful is very high. So that is why it is always being recommended to go with data driven. So these are the four content, when it comes to creating the content, these are the four factors which you should keep in mind when you coming to create the content. The next one, the create and curate. In here, you should have a story, a relevance, and asset. So your content has to be a story. It should tell a story. It should have something, so that customers can like take it with them. So that in a way, the main goal of this is to like make them like get the customers into your brand, into your content, into your like the story which you are going to make them see, like tell them. So it is always recommended when you are creating the content uh, to come up with a story, a message, so that it can be easily engaged with the customers and make them invested into your content. So if you are going to create a content, kind of a story, what is the idea behind it? Like what is the as it is mentioned, what is the conflict, what is the problem, and what is the solution you are going to offer for that? So uh, for an example, if it is let's take an example as a insurance, life insurance. Let's say XYZ life insurance is there, and they're going to come up with the content for their content marketing. Let's say if they are going to come up with the story, they should come up with, so their product is going to be the life insurance. So why it is why it is the people to have life insurance? So they're going to answer that within a story itself. Why an insurance is necessary in today's current period, and how it can what are the problems people face, and how it can help people to overcome, uh, and how it can be a solution, how it can be a uh, like a decision taken by the consumers, and how it can pay them back, it can help them. So for an example, as we took as an insurance, they can come up with a story, they can come up with innovative kind of things, with like characters, with a problem, with a conflict, and how they going to what is the solution they going to offer, what is the decision the customer will be taking eventually at the end of the story, what is the message. So these kind of things are important to be considered when you are creating the content. What kind of a story, since there are many enough content in the market, you know everything is attention grabbing, which is everything is coming as same. Your content has to be something very unique, comes with a story kind of thing, so it will be resonating with people, it will be related with the people. So that's something you should be like focused in. Then relevance, whether your content is relevant to the target audience, whether it will create a engagement with the audience. If your brand is something, let's say a beverage brand, like a uh, hard drink kind of a brand, like, so if such a brand is what you're going to like promote among the customers, you should be able to like keeping in your mind that it will be also being seen by uh, children's as well, like below 18. So you should be keeping in your mind about them as well. So it should be appropriate when when you're trying to come up to your target customer as well as the other segment of the customers. So it should be related, as well as it shouldn't be like not to be an inappropriate kind of way. And so those things to be considered on particular specific on those kind of brands, and create engagement with the content. So as I said, coming up with a story kind of thing is what makes the customers engaged, makes them invested in that story, so that they will be engaged in that content, and they will be resonating with that content, they will be taking it with them, and they'll be attracted to it, and they will act positively towards that content. And assets, when it comes to asset, it talks about what are the different kind of range of content you can come up with, what are the existing brands content which is already there, and what are the new content you can come up with. So basically, when it comes to creating a content, you should keep in mind what is the message you are going to tell through your content. What is the story? What is the uh, what is the solution you're going to offer as a brand uh, through that story itself? Like and keeping it in mind, in your mind, on that story when you're creating it, what is your target customer and how you're going to make it as appropriate content towards them, and how that story will be engaging with the content with the customers, and what kind of a range of content you can develop and deliver to the customers. So these kind of areas you should be keeping in your mind when you are creating the content. So these are kind of a content uh, which we have seen mostly in our TV advertisement, like close up Coca-Cola, like Davy Biscuit, Rexona. So these kind of as people see these brands logos itself in their mind, they will be quickly you know resonating with the content, what the content which they came up with, and you know how how what in what is the brand, how the brand are positioned in the customer's mind using the content. When you say close up, the immediate thing in your mind it comes is the freshness, the how fresh your breath will be when you use close up. uh, Coca-Cola, when you say Coca-Cola, you will say like how celebration, like if there is any occasion, any event or anything, celebrating it with Coca-Cola drink. So those kind of like content which helps to keep the helps to the customers to keep their brands in the mind, how the content will help the brand, how the people can keep that brand in their mind, how can it be positioned in the customer's mind. This is how the content can be helped. So these are some of the famous influencers as well as brands which we have seen. So uh, these are ways, video content. So they are specialized in video content. How it is like the content has helped them being established. How so when you see them itself, the brands logos or these media personalities on your mind, you can come across the various content which have been done by these brands in digital marketing, in traditional marketing, in like social media, TV advertisement, everywhere. So soon as you quickly see these brand logos, you can in your mind you come across the various content they have done. So how like those content have worked so well that they have made the customers to remember their brand for a long time. So these are one of the these are examples. So these are the content which are being taken as a education is being taken as a tool through this content. Like when you are for the example Milo, when it comes to Milo, they are being educating. This is a content. These are three different content uh, promoted by three different brands. When it comes to first one, the Milo, this content, this specific content, they have planned with the intention of educating the customers how to make a Milo, a big Milo cup of a Milo. So in that one, using that content itself, you can learn how the Milo should be prepared perfectly. And the main goal of this content for the brand is to make the customers learn how to if like perfectly make a Milo drink. So that is something which they have come up with this content, and they have done it perfectly, and easily it can be like uh, reached the target customers, and it is very very simple and very easy to So that is the first one. Second one, it's again health insurance. Uh, it shows about how the health insurance can help a common man in what type of situation and why how it helps. So that is something. And the third one is something related to pets. How you can identify pet related kind of diseases, how you can keep your pets healthy. So these are examples of content, how the content has been created, and what how they have in what type of purposes they are created. Again, infographic. So infographic again is being used to showcase data, like facts, statistics. So that those kind of important things, like to make the customers learn something. So infographic is one of the ideal tool you can use to make the customers or the viewers to get an understanding of the facts or data related something in your content. So in the first one, it is being talked about the Coca-Cola, how they initiated Coca-Cola during the initial times. So how they have expanded it over the period of time from 1886 till currently. And the second one is uh, related something about a marathon and how much hydrated you have to be. It's kind of educating how you have to keep yourself hydrated. This is again a way a content has been developed in a way, to make your product, your brand itself a character, so that people can remember it as something, with something, they can remember for longer period of time. So in that case, your product can be something more than ordinary, something more than something which can be perceived by the people as a character. uh, for an example, this second one, I so this is ice cream. So it has a helmet of Darth Vader. So if a person who are related with Star Wars, they know this is a character which is in those movies. So using this content, they have like established that brand with a character, with the Darth Vader's helmet, a movie character, fictional character. So the people can, soon as they see this content, they can get a picture of it. They can relate it with the movies, and they can remember this. So it's something like to make the customers, have fun, like have some a sense of humor, as well as to keep it remember it for a long time. So here we can see content insertion. Content insertion, what it talks about is, so you can make the content published or like showcased. You can show it in uh, with other types of content as well. you know so what you can see here is a news article. Okay, so you can place your content in between them, so that if a person can goes to that article, they can come across that particular content as well. So these are, in a ways, that content can be used in various different uh, for various different purposes in various different scenarios. So each are being used in different ways, so that people can uh, make it related. People can make it noticed. Can they can like remember this for a long time. They can easily identify it and related to this. So these are one of the like innovative ways, new ways that creating a content uh, from each brand to brand, uh, planning on how they wanted to make their brand look like. From there itself, it starts like how they wanted to plan it, how they what are the objectives, how they want to look among the customers, the target customers, and how they want to be identified as. So these are being initially being thought and being planned and being created in the content creation. So this is something like recent contents which related with the hot topics. Like this is something done by a shoe brand with the pride symbol to give some message to the people. And this is the logo itself, which gives an idea of Apple with again the pride symbol colors. Here the same. And so each content can give each different messages, and it can relate it with each different topics, so that people can identify. And each content is being sometimes when they are developed, it being developed with the recent topics, recent headlines, which recent news, trending things, so that people will be easily be related to that, easily be identified, easily know this, that what's the message the content is coming to say, so that the interaction, the engagement with the customers and the brand, it increases more because of these kind of measures. So creating conversations. So these are kind of content which the brand have come up with, you know, to make a conversation among the brand, among the people. It will act as a starting conversation, make it very simple, and at the same time make the your customers talk about it, talk about in the social media, so that it will create talking point, so that the content, the brand will be shared so many times. So these are one of the innovative ways you can see here. Each brand has come up with each different conversation messages. So as you can see, this is a pilot pin. As you know, what they are trying to say is the pilot pin is a water resistant, which when you have written it on a paper, even if it like gets wet in the water, uh, the ink will be staying there. It won't fade away. So they have come up with an innovative way, to tell this and make a talking point. So these are some innovative content. So again, these are some of the memes kind of content where again it will create talking point. So this is has been related with Shrek movies. The situation, the scene where the movie takes place, with the message the brand talks about. Here as well, it's a meme where the boy who shows the message and how they have make it applied to the message of the brand as well, how they have related both of it. So these are one of the innovative ways where you can create content. So as we talked about today, there are 4 steps in the content planning framework, which is first is thinking, which is basically about planning the content, and then creating the content. So we have talked about uh, till here creating the content. So once the content is been planned, in how we can create, like what are the various ways we can create, like video content, educating through content, which you can give a message, like make the customers learn about your product. And here as well, using infographics, you are making them learn about your brand itself. And here you create a character using your content to your product itself. So these are different ways the content can be created, and can be using innovative ways so that it can be reached effectively to your customers. So I hope uh, we have got an idea as of now, like how a content can be planned and how different innovative way we can be create the content through each different segment of people. So we'll be talking next week how we can publish, what are the ways we can publish based on what type of content we have created. So as of now, I hope will be added. You got an idea on how the content we can be planned and created. So, is there anything you wanted to like understand or get an discuss something, Sydney? So, anything like you wanted to clarify from me? Okay. So basically, the idea which I wanted to tell you is content is something like, we come so basically most of this content I'm pretty sure that we all of our life we have come across these brands, these logos, these contents. So each content, each company, each brand has its own, brand. They have defined that brand as something. For an example, if I take Coca-Cola, is something they have made as some a soft drink, not like every other soft drink. Something like, you can celebrate it when you come across a party, a get together, something like that. Close up is something that uh, talks about something freshness, like how your breath freshness can be. So each brand has its own way of branding. So in order to achieve that brand, achieve that same message, what the brand comes to say, you can select various different content based on it. So that's it today. So we'll discuss next week how we can publish and how we can measure the brand. Uh, how we can like measure the success of the brand. So if there's anything, please drop a message in the group, Sydney, so I can clarify to you in the next session as well. So thank you very much for joining, and if there's anything, please let me know in the group. Okay, Miss Sydney, thank you for joining. Thank you very much. See you next week then. Thank you. You're welcome.